So, I wanted to record this video to highlight to people about how bad Pontins is, because me and my soon-to-be wife have had an awful experience with them, and I wouldn't like anybody ever to have to go through what we did. So, we saved some sun tokens. Bear in mind, we've been on many sun holidays before and they've been absolutely brilliant. And my soon-to-be wife decided to pick this holiday park up in Breen, a Pontins resort, which seemed to be a nice idea. We was going to be going away in April, and the weather was really nice when we was going away. Well, prior to going away, my soon-to-be wife is extremely disabled. She's got a condition called IIH, which means she has water on her brain. She's also got fibromyalgia and a few mental health issues, so I care for her and look after her, and also liaise with anybody about anything. So I called the sun holidays up before we went, and they gave me the number for Pontins, and I rang Pontins up, which took me a long time to get through to them, but eventually I did get through to their helpline, and I spoke to them. I explained the situation, to ask them if they could check that we'd got adequate parking and that the apartments that they were letting out to us would be good, as we was going for 12 days, and it would be my soon-to-be wife's 40th birthday, and I wanted to do something special for her. They assured me everything was good. They couldn't add anything onto my list, but they assured me that we'd be in the same accommodation, it would have good parking, and that they'd make sure the booking was all great. So of course we was very excited about going away. So the day came, we drove up to the Pontins resort and got to the gate. Bear in mind, my soon-to-be wife was extremely exhausted, because any drive over 50 minutes really makes her quite unwell. But anyway, so we drove up. The security at the gate were very rude, impolite, and didn't seem to want to be very helpful. But anyway, we thought maybe they're just having a bad day, so we pulled up at the front of the resort, and I walked in, waited in a small queue, got to the front desk, only to be told that, oh, we can't deal with your apartment here, you'll need to go and wait down the road. So they directed me for about a 5-minute walk through the complex to this great big hall, which once I got into it, there was like a bar, and only what I could describe as a school hall type sized expanse. The floor was sticky, it really stunk, it wasn't very nice, and there didn't seem to be anybody there to help us. But somebody came over the tannoy to tell us to wait, and that somebody would be there to give us our keys and details. So anyway, 3 queues formed in certain alphabetical order, so I got into the correct queue, waited around 45 minutes, got to the front of the queue, and was handed a envelope which could only be described as an envelope you would get when you get a hire car. So I tried to ask the staff at the front desk, you know, where's the apartment that we're going to be staying, and try and ask them some details. They were very reluctant to give me any details and just said it's all in the pack, it's all in the pack, which I found quite impersonal. But anyway, came out, drove up to the accommodation, went in, and there was 2 filthy sort of single beds which were, nobody would be able to sleep on them, to be honest. I've seen better homeless shelters. and there was beer cans everywhere. The room stunk. The parking was way too far away. Totally and utterly unsuitable for our holiday. So I drove back to the front of the complex, went into the reception area, waited for a while, and then spoke to one of the girls at the desk, and all she could say is, well, we can only get it cleaned, we can't do anything else. So I said, well, I rang up beforehand to try and check the details, make sure that we got the right accommodation, make sure it was suitable, and everything. And she went, oh, that's guest services. It's nothing to do with us. If you go and wait, we'll try and get somebody to clean the van in half an hour. So I wasn't very happy with this, but I walked out and spoke to my soon-to-be wife, and she was very, very upset. So I decided, no, that this wasn't acceptable. I'd go back into the complex. So I went back into the complex and started waiting and started speaking to the lady at the desk. And there was a few other guests, actually, who also had complaints of a similar nature. And within a short time, some well-dressed people came over to us and said, oh, if you follow us, we'll try and resolve your concerns and get things sorted for you. So we stepped outside of the complex, and so did a couple of other people. And they said, oh, if you can give us your keys, we'll go and see if we can check the accommodation out and sort something out. Fine. Handed over the keys. No sooner had they got the keys back in their hands, they said, we don't accept complaints here. You'll all have to get off site. You've got 5 minutes to get off site, otherwise we'll be calling the police. Your holidays are over. We don't accept complaints here. At which point I was aghast. So I tried to liaise with these people, but they didn't want to liaise with me. So I had to jump in the car. I then had to. My wife was very, very ill and distressed and upset. So I then had to fumble about trying to book somewhere for us to stay, which couldn't do because where we were staying by the resort, or where we should have been staying, the internet service was rubbish or non-existent. Luckily, a friend helped us out who didn't live too far away, and she said we could come to hers to try and resolve the matter. So we drove to her house and had to go online. We had to book a night in a hotel because my wife can't travel too far. We booked a night in a hotel, which actually was lovely. It was a travel lodge, and they're always wonderful places. Would always advise you could stay in one of them. We drove home. I then contacted the son, who said it was nothing to do with them. It was to do with Pontins. Contacted Pontins. Didn't get much of a response. And then decided to contact the credit card company, who were also not too good. But anyway, since all that's happened, I've had a reply from Pontins, no reply from the son, I might add, so not very happy with them, and no reply with Marks and Spencer's credit card company, so not happy with them either. However, I got a reply from Pontins, basically saying that they were unprepared to deal with me as I wasn't the lead booking on the booking form. Even though I'd explained in a letter previously and in a phone call that my soon-to-be wife is dyslexic, she's got complex needs, she can't write letters, she can't talk to people on the phone, and she can't deal with this, hence why I'm her advocate for everything, and hence why I was the one that called up the holiday park in the first place before we got to this stage. Anyway, we've had many, many letters one way and the other, and nothing seems to be resolved. And as a matter of fact, we're nearly £500 out of pocket due to this awful situation, and no gleaming light coming anytime soon. So I wanted to make this YouTube video so that other people could be aware and that other people could know what we went through, and hopefully they won't suffer the peril that we did. Let us know what you think of this video, share it all around and let everybody know. And if you've got any questions or queries, you can always email me Romeo Whiskey Oscar Oscar Delta 01 @hotmail.co.uk. Look forward to hearing a response from people. Thank you. Bye.